So we're back again with Pirate Bob talking about the Bermuda Triangle and everything goes in there. Now, where most of us know the general area of the Bermuda Triangle, but what about where is it actually, like, where are the points?
Well, one of the points is over in Florida, off the tip, then over to Cuba, and there's this one island. It goes back, whatever. I forget what the end of the island is. But the main thing is strange things happen there. Electromagnetic forces. Who knows? Who's to say? Even they said that Atlantis might have sat here at one time too. But the main thing is what happened. It was the middle of the night. All of a sudden, all power went off on the ship.
Well, before you jump into that, why don't you tell us what you're doing then? Because before you jump into the story,
I was in the Navy, and we were heading down to Cuba to drop something off on that one little island out there next to the big island. But the main thing is, as I said, I woke up and it was all dark and going, what the hell's going on here? The ship lost power for about 24 hours. Also on the USS John F. Kennedy at the time. And the main thing was a really weird feeling. So I went to the decks, all the emergency lights were on and stuff. I walked on, I got upstairs to the main flight deck, looked out. It's just glowing green water. Like someone took a bunch of those chem lights and put them in the water. Kind of like a peace look, but the main thing is the entire sky was glowing green. The water was glowing green. I'm going, what is going on here? And I realized we're in a triangle. Anyway, I looked around for a few minutes, spotting anything interesting, like maybe a flying saucer or even a flying Dutchman somewhere. Nothing. Just a bunch of seaweed floating and glowing and water glowing. I seen the triangle. Good night. Went back to my bunk and went back to bed. Next morning we had power back on and we got out of there.
So that's all you've seen out of there?
That's what I saw of it.
Have you heard any of your friends ever have any interesting stories from the Triangle at all, or?
Oh, we were told not to tell anybody about the incident.
What incident?
Yeah, what incident? Let's go. Something did happen somewhere. Someone saw something, but the main thing we were all told, don't tell anybody.
So wait, when you were your ship, when you were out there in the Bermuda Triangle,
yeah, we were
told not to tell anybody about losing power.
Or being even in there.
But why?
Or what we saw.
Well, you didn't see anything then.
This is what being in the military is all about. They tell you things. Back years before that, coming back from Anderson Air Force Base, Guam, I'm too cited for the military. I've been in both the Air Force and the Navy. But the main thing is something interesting happened. The airliner we were in, heading toward Hawaii, we had a UFO follow us, a glowing orange ball. 1 minute it's on one side of the aircraft, and it went to the other side of the aircraft. Everybody was watching this thing, and then it just vanished. As soon as we landed, we were all herded to this hangar. We were there for like about 20-25 minutes. A general and his staff were walking in. I say, forget what you've seen. We didn't see anything. We had to sign a piece of paper that we wouldn't tell anybody what we saw.
But it's just an orange ball.
Yeah, orange glowing ball, just pulsing orange. 1 minute on one side of the front of the aircraft, the other side, just following us.
Do you have any idea why? Or?
I know.
Was it an actual UFO? Well, of course it was a UFO.
Yeah, it was a UFO, but we're just trying to figure out why they all had something on one piece of paper that we didn't see anything, or even never talked to anybody about this.
Now then, have you seen anything else while out on the ocean?
Not really.
So just the UFO, or the orange ball, and the whatever happened with you in the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, that's about it. Also, I've seen other UFOs too in my life. Like I said, at one time over in Virginia Beach, we were just walking out from a movie. We had a really strange sandstorm kick up out of nowhere. It was all cloudy and stuff. All of a sudden, up in the clouds, they were moving, and also lights appeared right out of Close Encounters. Red, blue, green, yellow, orange, just coming right out of the clouds. I'm going, wow. Me and the wife were just watching this light show. And then we got into the car. We took off. And also we noticed lights are going out in the town around us. Lights are just popping out right and left. And I looked up out towards the ocean. Also, I saw this large shape slowly turning in the shadows. And just as it passed over, lights started coming back on again. It was right out of Close Encounters, almost identical to what was in the film.
So you think that possibly someone might have seen Close
Well, someone's
Encounters,
seen
or
it. But the main thing about it is the next day, the United States Navy put a thing in saying, "Oh, we're doing weather tests." Some aircraft supposedly is doing something out there, doing weather experiments.
and
Like,
that's
I'm
what
really going to believe that, you know?
So anything else, or
Well, it's like back in the March Air Force Base. Me and the wife were coming back. I forget where we came from, stores, shopping, or whatever. And we remember a week before over in San Bernardino, everybody had seen this red Chinese lantern in the sky. So, interesting. But that night when we came back, we spotted the red Chinese lantern. Not more than about a half a mile where the base was. I'm going, we actually pulled over, there's a whole bunch of people pulling over, looking at this thing. It's like a red Chinese lantern. It sat there in the sky. It was a clear night. There's no telephone poles around. They'll hold this thing up.
no? Where is this at?
This is at March Air Force Base.
Where's that?
That's up near Riverside, around Centimede. But the main thing, as I said, a lot of cars that stopped, they're watching this object for a good hour, mind you. And all of a sudden, it just turned itself off. It was gone. No movement, no nothing. Didn't go out in space, whatever. It just, light went out, and that was it. It just vanished.
Have you ever seen any other UFOs besides that one? And
Well, I saw this one night, just before I met the wife. I was up at KSR Air Force Base, Michigan. That's up at the UP, Upper Peninsula. Anyway, I was coming back from this religious thing, whatever it was, I was invited to. I took this one, someone told me this one road would get me to the base faster than just going the standard route. So I'm driving down the road, it's about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I see these lights. Up above, so you've got treetop over this way, trees on this side, all evergreen type, pine trees, whatever. Anyway, I heard a strange noise, and what the hell? Looked up, I actually started slowing down, and there's this white triangle-shaped craft with blue, green, or lights on it, even orange light, but the whole thing was lit up, a large triangle, and it went treetop, the other treetop, right above the road where I was. I'm going, ooh, wow, interesting, I like this. Anyway, I got up back to the base. I stopped over at the tower at a friend working there, one of the lieutenants I knew. I asked him if he had anything on the scope that night. He said, yeah. We had this for a few moments. We had a craft that came down and went on to a certain area. I said, I saw it. Well, you going to make a report? No. Because he himself was afraid, because whenever he reports stuff like that, he gets in trouble real quick.
so, do you think like almost all? Because what you're saying is a lot of these UFOs are all from near military bases, Air Force bases. So, do you think that the U.S. government has like a huge control over the UFO territory? Like, I mean, like, do they test them, or like they shoot them down and like then rebuild
They
them?
shoot them down. If anything, they're allowing this. And if someone decides to see one land, or actually see one flying overhead, and they report it, they consider you a crackpot, or go lock yourself up in some mental ward. They don't want to hear about it these days. They just, you're insane. Yeah, lock you up somewhere. Especially if you start talking about it and stuff like this. I'm gonna lock you up, make you vanish.